Imagine the person you love the most is someone you've never actually met. Not the real them, the version you built in your head, the one who could do no wrong, the one whose silence you excused, whose cruelty you renamed as pain, whose absence you filled with excuses you invented yourself. You gave them a crown they never asked for, and then you wondered why it hurt so much when they acted like a human being instead of a god. This is the quiet tragedy almost no one talks about. We don't fall in love with people. We fall in love with the images we paint of them. And when reality shows up, wearing the same face but none of the perfection, we don't blame the illusion. We blame ourselves. We think something is wrong with us for feeling disappointed. We think we're the ones who failed to love hard enough, forgive enough, understand enough. But here is the brutal truth. You didn't fail to love a person. You failed to see one.
Carl Jung spent his life studying the shadows we refuse to look at. And one of the darkest shadows of all isn't the evil we see in others. It's the perfection we invent in them. He called it projection. The unconscious habit of taking pieces of ourselves, our longing, our wounds, our unmet needs, and placing them onto someone else like a mask. We don't see them. We see our own reflection wearing their skin. And once you understand this, you can never unsee it again. Think about the last person you idolized. A parent you tried to please your whole life. A partner you built your identity around. A friend you defended even when they hurt you. A leader, a mentor, a stranger online who seemed to have it all figured out. Somewhere in your mind you decided they were more than human. And the moment you did that, you set a trap for yourself. Because idols always fall. Every single time. Not because they are cruel, but because they were never gods to begin with. They were people, carrying their own confusion, their own fear, their own unfinished war with themselves. You just couldn't see it. You didn't want to. Here is something that will sting a little. Idealizing someone is not love. It is often fear wearing love's clothing, fear of standing alone, fear of trusting your own judgment, fear that if this person is flawed, then maybe the life you built around them is flawed too. So instead of seeing the cracks, you look away. You explain them. You defend them to people who see the truth more clearly than you do. And slowly, without noticing, you disappear.
This is where the deeper wound lives. When you idealize someone, you don't just distort them, you erase yourself. Your needs become smaller, your voice becomes quieter, your boundaries become negotiable. Because how do you say no to a god? How do you protect yourself from someone you've convinced yourself is incapable of harming you? This is the hidden cost nobody warns you about. Idealization isn't admiration, it's self-abandonment wearing a beautiful disguise. Jung believed that everything we refuse to face in ourselves gets projected outward. If you have never learned to feel your own worth, you will search for someone who seems to embody it and orbit around them like your survival depends on their approval. If you have never processed your own emotional wounds, you will chase people who seem to have none, refusing to admit they are simply hiding theirs better than you hide yours.
You are not choosing people. You are choosing unfinished parts of yourself and hoping someone else will finish them for you. And that is why it hurts so violently when they fall from the pedestal. It was never really about them. It was about the fantasy collapsing, the identity you built on their perfection, the safety you borrowed from their image. When they show a flaw, a betrayal, a moment of selfishness, it doesn't just disappoint you, it shatters the story you were living inside. But here is the twist that changes everything. The fall of the idol is not the tragedy, it is the doorway. Because the moment the illusion breaks, you are finally standing in reality for the first time. Painful, yes, but real. And reality, unlike fantasy, is the only place where actual growth can happen.
This is the brutal lesson hidden inside every heartbreak, every betrayal, every disillusionment with a person you once worshipped. You were never meant to stay asleep in admiration forever. You were meant to wake up. Jung called this process individuation. The long, uncomfortable, necessary journey of separating who you truly are from the masks, projections, and borrowed identities you've been wearing. And one of the most important steps in that journey is this. You must stop idealizing people, or you will never fully become yourself. Let that sink in for a moment. As long as you keep placing others above their humanity, you keep placing yourself below your own. You keep waiting for their permission to feel worthy, their approval to feel safe, their consistency to feel stable. You hand them the steering wheel of your emotional life and then wonder why you feel powerless.
This is not weakness. This is conditioning. Most of us were taught early that love means sacrifice, that respect means silence, that admiration means ignoring red flags. Nobody sat us down and said, the people you look up to are just as lost as you are, some of them more. So we grow up building shrines instead of relationships. Here's a truth that will feel uncomfortable, but freeing once you accept it. Nobody is coming to save you from being human. Not your parents, not your partner, not your mentor, not the version of someone you've idealized in your mind. They cannot give you what only you can build inside yourself. Self-trust, self-respect, a sense of identity that doesn't collapse the moment someone disappoints you. This is where real power begins. Not in controlling others, not in seeking their validation, but in seeing them clearly, flaws and all, and choosing to stay grounded anyway.
When you stop idealizing people, something extraordinary happens. You stop being blindsided by betrayal because you're no longer surprised that humans act human. You stop losing yourself in relationships because your identity no longer depends on someone else's perfection. You start setting boundaries without guilt because you no longer see disagreement as a threat to their divine status. And most importantly, you start extending that same grace to yourself. If they are allowed to be flawed and still worthy of understanding, so are you. This shift doesn't happen overnight. It happens in small, quiet moments. The moment you notice yourself making excuses for someone's behavior and pause instead of continuing. The moment you feel the old urge to defend someone who hurt you and choose honesty instead. The moment you realize the discomfort you feel isn't them failing you, it's your own illusion finally cracking open.
And here is the deeper layer most people never reach. The people you idealize are often mirrors of the person you're afraid to become, or the person you're afraid you're not. Someone confident becomes your obsession because you fear your own uncertainty. Someone calm becomes your anchor because you fear your own chaos. Someone successful becomes your measuring stick because you fear you're not enough. You don't just admire them, you use them to avoid facing yourself. This is the hidden war Jung spent his life trying to expose. Not the war between people, but the war between who we are and who we pretend others are so we don't have to look inward. So here is the number that changes everything, the one truth that rewires how you see every relationship in your life. You were never falling for them. You were falling for the parts of yourself you haven't met yet. Once you understand that, the pedestal disappears. And what's left is something far more powerful than admiration. Respect without illusion, love without dependency, connection without self-erasure. This doesn't mean you stop caring about people. It means you finally start seeing them and yourself without the distortion. You allow people to be flawed without collapsing your world. You allow yourself to be flawed without collapsing your worth. That is where real strength lives. Not in finding perfect people to admire, but in becoming someone secure enough to face imperfect ones without losing yourself. So the next time you feel yourself placing someone above their humanity, pause. Ask yourself what part of you is hiding behind their image. Ask yourself what you're avoiding by making them larger than life. Because the moment you stop idealizing people is the moment you stop waiting to be rescued and start becoming the person you were always meant to find.
That is not heartbreak. That is awakening. And once you see it, you can never go back to sleep again.